Okay, so today I'm going to make a paper collage animal. You can see here I made a little bird. I had lots of bits of the pattern paper left over, so I made this little sweet hedgehog as well. Right, I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'll put those to one side. So firstly, I grid up a piece of paper and I am putting a different pattern in each little grid, so I've got lots of different ones for my collage. You can use paints or you can use felt tips. I'm using, as you can see, a limited palette as always because I think that always looks better. I'm using reds and blues because I love the combination of reds and blues. So I've already got some done there. What I find is I'll do one colour and then quite often I'll add a little bit more to that one. So I'm going to put some red dots in the middle of those sort of leafy blue shape because that's going to look good. So like that. So I'm going to make a whole sheet of patterned paper. Now if you want to, you can just do this. I could happily spend an activity just making a whole sheet of patterns. Another thing you could do is with felt tips. You could do a combination of felt tips and paint, or just felt tips. So there's a nice swirly pattern in there. Okay. Now to that I could add little dots of blue, maybe the thin end this time. Little dots of blue going up each one like that. That could look quite cool. Quite like the combination of a solid line and then a little detail in another colour, a finer detail. But you can really play around and do whatever you like here. Okay, this one here I'd already done some blue paint. Because the blue paint's dry, not so easy when the paint is wet. I'm going to add some felt tip to that bit of painting there. Adding to those little V's. Okay. Okay, now when I filled that sheet I can put that to dry, and then I'm going to make my animal ready to collage it. So another piece of paper here, and I'm going to show you, if I can find my pencil, how I did the animal. There's my pencil. Okay, now if I was going to do a bird, you want your shape to be very simple. The animal is about its patchwork, collage, rather than about its fancy shape. So simplify it. So with my bird, I might do a head there with a beak, maybe a little crown on top. Body, swoop down like that, and make a big bushy tail on it like that. Then some feet, and that's all really. Put his eye in there. That's all I need. Maybe his tail could be more like that. If you want, you can give yourself a little wing. So that would be my basic bird. Now, to cover it in the collage, you're going to need to get yourself some glue. Just glue an area at a time. So you can use a Pritt stick type glue or a PVA type glue, whatever you've got in. Doesn't really matter. Right, I'm going to just do a small area at a time. So I'm covering that in a load of glue. Right. And here's some pattern I made earlier. Now you could cut it or you could just rip it. I might just rip this into shapes. And I'm making my shapes vaguely curved so I can kind of curve around the edge of the bird like that, and I'm just going to plonk that on. Okay, let's make this red next to that. putting different ones next to each other. Okay, well, I'm going to tidy the top of that bit up there. All right. I want a darker blue bit now. I've got lots of pattern bits now. This is a bit more of a solid blue, so that's going to look quite good in contrast. Okay, when I've got the whole thing covered, I'm going to just go round and add a little bit more glue. As it dries, it doesn't matter if there's bits of glue on the top. So I'm just going to put that on there like that, just smoothing it down so that my edges are nice and smooth. Okay, and we're going to cover the whole thing, and then when I've covered it, what I do is I cut round it, and that tidies up all the loose edges. When I was doing my little hedgehog, I left the points unstuck so that they stuck out, which I thought was quite cool. Okay, look forward to seeing what you're going to do.